I wanted to learn how to throw cards since I was a little kid, but I never really committed to it. I've always seen these people on TV and on talent shows doing these amazing tricks, throwing cards super fast, super accurately, and splitting apples in half. So today is gonna be the day that I learned this too, and I'm gonna share with you my progress and how I learned this skill. Possibly you'll learn this too. So let's get to doing. I found this deck of cards laying around. They aren't really made for throwing, but that'll work for now. Shouldn't be too picky at first. You should just go for it. But maybe don't be as goofy as this guy. This is gonna be my setup for the first days of practice. An orange on a drawer, a blanket for whatever reason, and a messy background. I am pretty sure that I'm almost as good as this guy. Anyway, I spent the first day practicing to throw cards. Naturally, all guts. I didn't even watch a single tutorial on YouTube. Just messed around and started getting in the groove. Time went by and I made close to no progress at all. Just got a little more comfortable. The real turning point was on day 2, where I watched a tutorial that explained the technique. Basically, you have to curl your wrist and your elbow to your neck and then flick your wrist to throw cards accurately and fast. But will technique alone make you a pro? Of course not. I had to practice a lot before getting some good results. And in case you're wondering, my end goal is to be able to throw a card to an apple and stick it into it, to demonstrate I achieved power, accuracy, and also a lot of patience. On day 3 I switched to larger and harder cards with birds on it, kindly offered by my local supermarket. I started to understand the concept of flicking your wrist to throw cards fast and with power. But thing is, I couldn't throw straight. I was lost in a random throwing pattern until I realized my mistake. When you flick your wrist, you tend to overextend your hand. Doing so will make cards go wherever they want. If you want them to go straight where you're pointing, you have to stop your hand right here. Basically, load, flick and stop. Then the card will travel all the way straight. Now that I feel more comfortable, I'm ready to try throwing cards at actual apples and see what I managed to do. And I actually made a lot of progress. Cards weren't flying everywhere and power was on point. As you can see from the cards on the ground, they all fell pretty much in the same area, which is a good sign. But accuracy still needed some work, and that setup wasn't good enough to train. So I moved on, put an apple on a stick, and started practicing from there. Practice was definitely going very bad at first, but then I picked myself up and started polishing my aim and power by focusing on the target and flicking better with my wrist. Improvements were being made, cards were nearer the apple after every shot. At a certain point, I went in a sharp-like focus, eyes on the apple, and all I was thinking was keeping technique consistent and aiming the target. And eventually, and yeah, I learned how to throw playing cards in 4 days. It ain't much, but it's honest work. You got that? It's the meme. It's the meme. It's funny, but it couldn't end there. Just one little miserable lucky shot. I wanted to prove I actually learned the technique, so I can teach it to you. So here goes my masterclass of card throwing. By the way, the fact alone that I actually got to throw them amazes me, let alone sticking them into apples. From the first shot, it was all downhill, and I got pretty good. Let me show you some clips before the tutorial. Now, how to throw playing cards. Theory is simple, as always, you just gotta practice. You have to curl your wrist as much as you can and curl your elbow a little bit too, all the way to your neck. That's gonna be your starting position. That's the easiest part. When it comes to flicking, you want to extend your elbow in front of you, but not violently. You should put most of the power into flicking your wrist. That's what determines a good shot. I recommend flicking the card horizontally because I found it works best for precise shots. I guess that's it for this video. Leave a like, subscribe, and check out channel's merch down below. See ya!